Welcome to Journey JavaFX. This is the season 2 episode number 15. In previous episode, we populated the list view. So in this episode, we are going to working on, once we click on the list view item, then all those records in database associated with that item will be populated to our UI. All right, this is the plan for this episode. Let's restart it. This is exactly where we left from last time. So for now, I'm gonna wrap all of this into a method. So then we can keep using it. So I'm gonna call this one, let's say initializer, and then we put another one, void, call it ListView. Stories initializer. All right, so then whenever we call it, it will do the whole thing. So decoration, what else? That looks okay. So we are going to do the next. So to do next, we need to create a event. Just click on this list view and looking for MouseClicked. Yeah, this one I'm gonna call it list view stories on mouse clicked. So this is the name for this method. I'll go back to our IntelliJ, open up our FSML, looking for the red, create a method. So in this way, we are creating a method in our controller. I'm going to delete the event variable because we are not using them for now. We're gonna leave it somewhere here. Okay, so now what are we gonna do is just quite simple stuff, making sure the clicking part is recognized by this list, right? So to do that, we're gonna say list view stories dot get selection model dot get item. We're gonna print out this one. Just make sure it's responding to our mouse click. So SLP, I'm gonna say to the end. All right, let's test it. Click on it. Yeah, it's working. And also this populating thing, we're gonna put it inside of the initializer. So in this way, it will always be populated. This will initializer. This one. Decoration. So now it should be works better. Okay. All right, working fine. So now to select a record, what we need is the ID, right? The ID, we just keep it to the end of each item value, right? So then now we are going to retrieve it over here. What are we gonna do is this: string selection equals to. I'm gonna copy paste this part. It's a string. Okay. The value of like to string. Perfect. Solve the problem. So now we are looking for a hashtag in the string, right? And also find a number. So then I would say selection dot index of, I believe. Yeah, index of this thing, and then we're gonna extract it, index of this, and we're gonna say selection dot substring this thing. I think we got a +1, but for now we just leave it like this. Okay, let's print it out, make sure it's the one we need. test it. Sometimes we need to do multiple times just to find out the exact precision, because in the computer world most of them are zero based. Okay, so now we get the number sign here. So what we're gonna do is this. So this part, okay, selection +1. Yeah, this part because it's null, right? Because it's null. So we're gonna do a test before that. But for this one, 20 is okay. Okay, hold on. Why is array get selected item? Yeah, that's why. That's why. Because we are returning back a kind of collection, but we just want only one of it. Now should be better. Exception, perfectly normal. Okay, so we're gonna do a test. Say if get item not equal to null, then we do this, right? If it's null, then it's no point. Okay, so we have this +1, and then we're gonna parse it into an integer. Let's say int id equal to this, and the integer dot parse, close it. So now we get the integer. So then we can work on the query itself. For example, like this one, we're gonna remove this part. Let's say where, it has to be capitalized, where id equals to let's say 9. Run it. Oh, probably we don't have the id equal to. id equals to like 27. No, just test it. Okay, the query perfectly fine. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna copy paste it to our notepad and align all of them, merge into one line, copy it, select, right? We already have a select. We're gonna create another one called, let's call it public. Oops. Yeah, how about we copy the whole thing? Okay, select, this one is not all. Let's say select by ID. So why we have two problems? Probably something wrong with the build. That's interesting. Oh, that's why I missed this. Okay, that was unexpected. Select by ID. All right. So then this one will return one story, right? We're gonna select this. Connection.build is no problem. We probably won't need a list because we're going to return only one story though. So this is the thing. We're gonna move this part. So this one is no longer needed. And this part is no longer needed. And then we're gonna say this. That's okay. What else? Return story. First, equal to no, right? And then we assign it here. Yep, perfectly fine. So then we're gonna copy paste in our query. I'm gonna paste it here. So we're gonna turn this into a question mark. So then the query will be like this: prepared, and then statement dot set integer, which is the integer we're passing in, right? So this one we will say integer int id. This one will be int id. Why it has a red integer? Oh, I'm missing the number part. All right, so now we have the query and it will return a data set, only one. We're gonna do this. Yeah, so far so good. So far so good. Okay. So let's go back to our controller. We already have this ID. What we're gonna do is it's gonna return a story, right? So let's say model.story equals to our db.select by ID, and then we're passing in this int ID, right? So now we will have the declaration. So now we have this ID. Just to make sure about this, we want to print it out. Make sure you know it's the thing we want. SLP story dot no, our story model is smart enough to print out by itself. Okay, let's do a test. So what I'm expecting is whichever one we click, it should return it. So for this one, the ID is 24, and looks like this is it. It's called egg, right? And instead of our database, let's do a quick view, refresh, 24. Yeah, this is the egg. So the query is working. So now we have this story model. We don't need to print it out again. So then we're gonna populate it, right? We're gonna say manager.populate fields from story, and when we pass in this story. So now everything should work in the way we want, I believe. Finger crossed. So Karen, Igor, Alan, Apple, yeah, they are working. So for now, we just achieved the goal we set for this episode. That's pretty quick, much faster than last time, right? What else we can do for now? Okay, I think we did most of the stuff. Let me think about it. Then I'm gonna see you in the next one.